This will be a quick video over the kind of mindset you should have when playing competitive fighting games. Once you step into more of the competitive level, what kind of mindset should you have? So, this video is going to be over the kind of mindset that you should have when playing any game competitively. You know, when you take it a step above casual. And that mentality is, one, to have a clear mind, and two, not to get too frustrated if you're losing, because the real fight is mainly inside your mind, and it's playing out in real time on the screen. So, as this video rolls, we're gonna watch me have a few uphill battles and ultimately overcome those uphill battles. And you could have swore that I was gonna lose, but you just don't give up. You play until it's over, especially in platform fighters like these. That's percent based. There is no health, and even in games with health gauge systems, there's still no guarantee. There's times where I've played Marvel 3 and mounted a comeback with Strider Hiryu, who's a very squishy character with very low health to begin with, and you'll have a pixel left and you'll pull a comeback out with no X factor or anything. So you can't give up, because if you do, then you've already lost. So you just play it out and you see what happens. And then that game there, I was able to clutch it out. And here's another game that I play where it's clear that I'm gonna lose, but I don't lose. And you can't let the opponent annoy you just because you're doing something you can't deal with. And you have to accept that sometimes you're gonna lose, but what are you trying to gain from the match? Are you just playing to win? Or are you playing to become better? Or are you playing to challenge yourself or educate yourself? You know, because there's only one way to learn how to deal with specific matchups, and that's to play the matchup and to really pay attention to what's happening on screen and not just play rhythmatically. And a lot of these videos, these were before I understood that, and I still was clutching out games. But you know, back then I had flowcharts. I really had to cast away all that stuff to do what I feel makes me better. Because if you get into high level play and you just have a flowchart all the time, people begin to learn your play style, learn your habits and things like that. So if you play flowing free like water, as Bruce Lee would say, you gotta be like water. You know, you do what's necessary in any circumstance, any given circumstance. You know, you don't just always default to your panic options. You don't want to be the player that, when pressured, throws everything they trained for and everything they learned out the window and go to panic options. So a lot of times you'll have to unlearn habits that have served you well, and it can be hard to do, but that's what practice is for. Sometimes I may even remap my controllers. I may even use different controllers, and those are learning curves. And you know, you have to be disciplined and get through it, even if it costs you a couple games, you know, costs you a couple sets. It is what it is, and the only way to get better and get past that is to go through it. There's no shortcut. There's no easy way to get the right mindset and the right level of discipline. The last thing I'll say, you know, pertaining to that is, you do what you have to do mentally. Like if you're at home, practice, you know, playing with the volume off, because a lot of players suffer from tournament anxiety. You know all this stuff, you learned all this stuff, you practiced all week, and then you go to bracket and you fall apart just because your own anxiety, which is you losing the mental game within your own head. Your own mental chess game is kicking your ass during bracket, and it's manifesting on screen. So I would recommend, practicing at home with the volume off, practicing with headphones on that's just playing music that's not even pertaining to the game you're playing. Sometimes leave the TV on for background noise, meditation even, if that's what helps you. But you have to practice some things that aren't necessarily in the game. You can grind in practice mode all day, but there's different things in real life. If you are a real basketball player, shooting free throws in the gym by yourself is cool, but when the pressure's on, you gotta be adaptive. You gotta apply pressure in your practices so that way it feels more realistic. The same if you were a mixed martial artist, you're going to have a whole nother level of pressure when you're in a real situation, and that's what you have to mock practice for and meditate for. And, that's pretty much it for me in this video. Hope the footage is okay. You can watch the rest of this game and hopefully it helps somebody. Until next time.